This tape's divided up into three different sections. The first section we're going to look at here is our off-season conditioning, drills that are position-specific for the offensive line that hopefully you can get your kids to do in the off-season. This is more or less just a warm-down that we do after our session in the weight room. You can see the guys have plates. We're just working on punch and posture, working the shoulders back and extending the arms. Again, it's just a good drill to simulate pass protection techniques. We're just here working, and we can do this several different ways. You don't have to go against a solid wall. You can find anything that the kid can brace himself on. But again, just working the punch and extending the arms and pushing himself back off, working the punch of the pass protection. Right here we have two defensive linemen firing a medicine ball at the offensive lineman. You can notice the offensive linemen are over the ball more and taking their pass sets. The defensive linemen are stepping in and extending the hands, simulating their pass rush or bull rush, and they're just flipping it back and forth to each other. Just any set of stairs. This is in our stadium. Again, just working coordination and building strength in the shoulders and hands. Doing the same things here, going forward and backwards. Again, just working that whole upper torso and shoulder area, coordination and strength in the arms and shoulders. I like to use the chutes in the off season whenever possible. Just have the kids getting off. I love hoops, whether I'm coaching the defensive line or the offensive line, just to get them to learn how to sink and turn and not decelerate. So again, here you can just see the kids getting off with different footwork and turning the corner, turning an edge. This next drill, we're just working on coordination and timing with our hands. We've got the kids up again trying to strengthen those shoulders, and it's kind of a fun game, competitive game. They're just trying to slap each other's hands, and it's really good for just quickness and timing. Here in this drill, we're just going to work on the same thing with the offensive lineman paired up with the defensive lineman. Okay, he can't move his feet, and again, they're just trying to protect their chest. The offensive lineman's trying to put the hands in the chest, and the defensive lineman's trying to slap the hands off. Okay, again, balance is critical, and you can see the offensive kids struggling to keep their balance on this. Right here, now the defensive lineman is just trying. They're offset slightly. They're going to be offset shoulder to shoulder, and the defensive lineman is going to try to protect his chest, knock the hand down. The offensive lineman is going to try to stab and get the hand to inside position. Again, we're just trying to emphasize inside hand position and leverage in the drill. Again, Pat here is leaning too much as he tries to throw the punch in there. We want to correct that. This is more or less just kind of a simulation of pass rush where we've got a towel down as a marker. You could use anything that's easily picked up, and it's just kind of a one-on-one mirror thing. Not a lot of contact. We don't want any kind of bull rushes or anything like that. But the defensive lineman, again, is just trying to, it's pass rush, as you can see right here. But just working on quickness and agility here. This we've just laid down a bunch of small hoops. You could paint circles, you could put towels or whatever you wanted right here. And we're just kind of following the leader through, working on different footworks. You can see Jim Radcliffe, our strength coach there, just leading them through, alternating feet. But again, this is nice just for body control and different types of strides and steps. It's very random the way you lay the hoops down, as you can see here. Again, the kids get really used to flipping their hips around and just working their posture and their body control. Again, a good drill just for agility going through here. We like these landscape logs. We just took a bunch of old landscape logs on this and cut them down to about 3.5 feet or so in width. This first is just a single bound. Again, you can see the posture of loading the hips and then unloading the hips. Very similar to how we want to extend the hips up through any kind of a dry block deal. Now we're going to double hop and extend out through. Again, we're looking for power. We're throwing them into our sand pit, but you could throw them up against anything. We just partner off. Now we're going 2 steps back and forward. Again, just working on loading and unloading the hips. You want to make sure the kids keep their hips down low. Every day before practice, we work flexibility, and This is an off season. This is a year-round project for us. Working flexibility in the lower body, I think, is key for the offensive lineman. Here we're just pushing out, trying to keep the toes perpendicular, pointing straight ahead, good straight back and squatting. Here we're partnered up. Posture is erect. Okay, hands on the hips, head back, and the partner now is just trying to lift the heel up to the butt. You can see we've got some work to do on this, but just keep stretching it out. Here we've got the leg tucked in. Try to keep it at a 90-degree angle, and we're walking out over our hands. We don't want to put weight on the hands. We just want to continue to creep out. It's a good stretch for the lower back. Here we're just walking out and trying to keep the heels flat, pushing down on that. Our lateral wave drill, I believe there's 3 types of movement in football. Particularly for offensive linemen, what I call a stutter, which is being demonstrated here, a slide, and then there's turning and running. 3 types of lateral movement, and we just try to incorporate all 3 types of these lateral movements here in this drill. I'm just giving them hand signals for a stutter, for a slide, and then for a turn and run. Okay, when you stutter your feet, you're moving your body in a confined area. As you slide, the area is slightly bigger, and obviously when you turn and run, you've got to go. But again, we're just working the feet, getting used to staying on balance with that. Here we're doing the same 3 types of lateral movement. Now we've just got a partner, and we're basically just mirroring him, what we call the rabbit down the line right here. The rabbit, Jeff here on the left as you're looking at it, is just working different speeds, a walk, a jog, and a sprint. Forward, could go backwards, and you can see Inoka is just working, again, the 3 types of lateral movement, a stutter, Jeff sliding right there, sliding or stuttering back, turning and running, opening the hips. Again, just try to stay with the man. I think this is, if there's one drill I could choose, I think this is invaluable for offensive line play right here. Last shot here. Again, the feet never slow down. No matter how slow the rabbit goes, the feet are always moving at full speed. That's the main coaching point with this drill. And that when the rabbit decelerates, he's going to want to decelerate his feet. Don't let that happen. The feet always move at full speed. The next phase of this tape, we're just going to look at some of the run technique drills that I use with the guys during the season. Some of these can be used in the off season, as with this first one. The towel drill here, we're just taking 2 towels, making an X with them, and all we're working on here is just getting the feet right. That first step, generally we're working zone footwork here. The first step, getting it over to cover the man, and the second step, getting down as quickly as possible. So we want to just get right left or left right footwork, keeping the posture as they come off nice and square. You can obviously use a lot more towels and more than just one guy going at a time here to speed the drill up. The fit drill here, we partner up. I want the hands behind the back of the offensive man, the defensive man just fairly upright, kind of holding the shoulders right here. Again, we're just working on that posture of leaning forward, trying to keep as many cleats in the turf as possible right here. Short, choppy steps as we drive off. And you notice we're always just slightly duck-footed in our posture right here as we come off the line and drive and keep the fit. Now we're just going to add a finish to it. Again, on my command, I'll just tell them to finish. They start out in a fit. They are going to have their hands up into the defender's chest now. The defender assumes the same posture. Get them down nice and low. They're driving off. They're holding them back. And then I say finish, and they're going to snap the elbows into the rib cage and accelerate the feet. But the coaching point I try to make on the finish part is once we go to a finish, we're going to try to drive the knees up into the crotch of the defender. So the base is going to narrow somewhat, and the feet will accelerate through the block here as we simulate trying to take the defender over and put him on his back. So that's the fit and finish drill. One more look at it right here. I yell finish, boom, the hips roll, and they accelerate the knees up through the crotch. The leverage drill right here, again, we're just trying to work for inside hand position. We partner up on this. One guy will start with his hands inside. When I yell switch, the next guy will drop his hips and replace his hands back inside. Every time they switch or go differently, I'm just yelling switch here, back and forth. This is a great conditioning drill. All right, again, it teaches them to get their hips down and low, replace and get inside hand leverage. Still keeping the same fit position that we just looked at in the previous two clips right here. You see how they have to sink down. You see once they get fatigued that the feet tend to slow down. You want to, you don't want to keep them in here going so long that they get exhausted, but at the same time you want to force them to keep those feet working and keep that same posture. This next drill, I'm not a big sled guy, but I do like the Crowther. I think it really is a great teaching aid for just learning how to roll the hips. This is just a progression. We're just working an arm roll into it. In utilizing the Crowther, you want to get the chin right over the corner edge of the pad, so you're slightly offset here. But now we're just working an arm roll, and again, the key to this is not to throw the shoulder in, but rather just to lift straight up with it. If you don't have a Crowther, you can use this against another person, actually. You can get two kids up there and do the same things. These are just straight arm pulls, and this actually is probably the first part of the progression right here. What I don't want to see you do is roll the shoulder. Now we're just taking a two-step approach right here. Okay, the kids are offset with their chin over the outside edge, the corner of the pad, and we're going to step with the outside foot first and make contact on the second step. And teaching any kind of drive block, I firmly believe that contact should be made on the second step. This machine really helps us get that first step going in the direction we want to go, and then that second step down, and we're hitting it with the arm roll. It forces these kids to keep their hips down low. We'll continue to add. We'll go out of a three-point stance and do the same progression. Chutes, these are an everyday drill for me. We're in the chutes basically every day. I have some boards that we use here just to keep the base. Here we're just working on drive block. We're coming off what I call an L step, which is what gets us in position to our target. We're going over and up. The boards are going at a 90-degree angle to the line of scrimmage on this one. I'll alter them, go at a 45 from time to time too. But what I want to see here, we use these hand shields, but it's really just strictly to keep anybody from banging themselves. I want to see the hands underneath the arm shields here, and always working to replace. In other words, I never want the arms going over the top of the defender's arms right here. So we're always working for inside leverage as we come off. Again, the key that I'm really looking at is that first step, getting the head to the target, and then getting that second step down. Now we're just simulating an angle block, what I call a near shoulder block. I just have the kids cocked at a 45-degree angle on the chute right here. I want to see that near toe going at the defender right here. And again, the position on the finish should be the same, with the hands inside the shield on his paint. You see Jeff right here, I don't like that right there. He's got his arm outside of the defender. He should work to replace it. You're not always going to get it there on the first attempt there. That's a good job by the kid in the middle right there of replacing his hand, getting it back inside. Here we've got him angled at a 45, and we're just working against, simulating going against linebackers on this. Okay, I have the kids that are being the linebackers offset, and then they're running downhill at that point. So there's a collision there, and then they want to keep working, trying to work over the top, so nobody runs over or runs into each other. Again, we're just coming off, staying on our tracks, just as we did on a zone scheme, staying on the tracks, coming off. Now we're working a far shoulder block. We've got the kids at a 90-degree angle to the board, and I want to make sure that they're stepping straight down the board here, trying to get that far shoulder across. This would simulate a cutoff block. Say the center has to come back block for a pulling guard against a covered pulling guard and get his shoulder across here. Tackle maybe coming down the line of scrimmage on a down block with a heavy penetrating guy. So we'll just work either side there. Again, we want to make sure they're gaining ground at the target. All right, coming flat and getting that far shoulder across. Here we're just working our probably the most basic block that we have, which is just a reach or a cutoff. We're going to go to the right and to the left, work at a 45-degree angle down the board right here. Have the man with the shield up tight on the board right here. We're trying to get our head to the aiming point and get our backside arm through the man. We can either use an arm roll, or I can even exaggerate the angle of the board and use a rip with the backside arm. But again, this young man here doesn't get his head where his hat to the aiming point, and isn't going to have a successful block there. Again, the backside arm is critical. This is just basic zone footwork, zone aiming points. Combination blocks here, we just work several different things. I try to make sure I mix it up. Here we've got a center and guard just working a zone technique on an offset nose. We've got a guard and a tackle here working what I call a deuce block, which is a double team working to the far backer. These aren't great cut-ups right here, but just get the idea. I'm back there pointing to give movement, whether I want the backer to flow over the top or to run inside. Again, they're double teaming the down man on this, and then looking for the off backer wherever he may fit into. Here's a combination block between the center and the play side guard on a zone scheme when you have an offset or cocked nose here, what we call a bump technique. What I don't want is the guard to ever step down. So if we're running zone to our left on this, everyone should be stepping with the left foot. Again, this is a bump. The guard is just merely being a presence there. His eyes have to remain on the backer, and he has to stay on track. And he's a presence there to help the center overtake the nose. This is a slip block, which is if the nose now moved further to the play side guard, where he's actually got a shade, an inside shade on the play side guard. We're running a zone to our right here. The guard can now use the arm roll. Again, everyone should be stepping with their right foot first, pounding it, and coming right through the crotch. Again, the key coaching point on this is for the guard, whoever the lead man is on the zone block, not to run away, but to bring that leg straight through the defender's crotch to help that man he's working with. This is a guard and tackle tag. It's tackle and guard working on the same zone footwork. We're going to our left, running 3-zone on this. The tackle and guard are going to be working from the defensive end to the linebacker here. The guard can actually be a presence to help the center, just sort of slow himself down. You can see him leave the front of the backside arm there to help the center and be a presence as he works to the defensive end. This is a backside scoop block here. We're working backside on what we call the hawk block on this, okay, between the backside guard and tackle. Okay, they're going to work through the 3 technique and off to the backer. Again, this is simulating a 3-zone scheme right here. Okay, this is a 2-zone. Everyone should be stepping with their right foot. The guard's got to take a good solid piece of the down man to help the tackle. The tackle's got to work for an overlap. And again, notice the finish. They want to try to get their backside arm through. Whoever the trailing blocker is wants to try to rip that backside arm through so he can maintain position on the down man. The guard's eyes never leave, or the tackle's eyes never leave, as demonstrated in this clip for the run-through. You have to be able to stay square for the run-through. A slug block, this is again between a center and a backside guard working a nose to a front side backer on this. This would be a 3-zone type of scheme right here. Want to work that backside arm through. I didn't like the guard on that 77. He was too flat on his first step and wasn't able to cover. Again, he's want to get enough depth so he can get his head to midline. It's a little bit better right there, okay? You can see if you get that second step down too, you're there with some power. Here's another, this looks like another hawk block here, okay? And we don't want to get crossed over with our footwork. We want to get that second step down as quickly as possible. Here we're working on just sorting out zone blitzes. If we recognize a zone blitz, we want to make a call. We call zebra to it. But there's times we're not going to recognize it either, and we just have to fall into it with our footwork. So I'm mixing it up here between the defense playing it straight and not. We're just coming off on our tracks. This would be a 3-zone type scheme here. Coming off to the weak side, we have an unprotected edge, no tight end, no back there. So now the tackle has to push out to the outside man. The guard has to come to the backer, and the center's going to the long stick defensive end. Now we're working the backside over here, okay, with the expanding 3 technique. We're working the backside. We still have a zebra call. This is a 2-zone, okay. Everyone's just working on their footwork and getting on their tracks. Again, this has to be patterned over and over again because kids can see it and they're great, but sometimes they can't. They don't see it and they just have to react to it, and they have to trust their footwork. This next drill that we're working on here is, I love this to start practice off. We do this maybe once a week with Michael Gray, our defensive line coach. Just lay 3 boards down and go one-on-one. Again, it just emphasizes everything that we're trying to teach as far as footwork, as far as hand position, pad level, getting that second step down. It's it's not a totally realistic drill. Very seldom are you ever just going to knock somebody straight back, but again, it really emphasizes what you do. Here you see Max has got his hands outside. The feet are good, but the hands are outside. He loses leverage. I think it's a great teaching aid for kids to see themselves in this kind of competitive situation, and just what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. Again, we only take about 2 pops on that. I don't want to beat the heck out of them doing this. We just have some more clips of different drills here in practice that I like to work, different things. RIT, this is a real crowd pleaser right here. We're going to come off against D linemen or linebackers. The backs has the ball. We've got the 2 lanes here. Those are just towels that are rolled up and taped together. And again, we just let the back make a cut off of what we do. This is the pod drill right here where we're working our combination blocks. This is great. I love this when I was coaching the defensive line. It's a fast look offensively where we're just working our different combination blocks. We got a tackle and a tight end there. Here we have a tackle and a guard. We have 3 or 4 of these different pods going. This is the outside drill. Now we're working a tight end, a tackle, and a back. Working on the edge, okay, the different combination schemes on the edge between a defensive end and an outside backer. Just different blocks for them. Again, trying to work all the different combinations. Might be a down and around, whatever you might have. This is an inside drill. I've got the center, both guards, and then a backside tackle, and 2 defensive tackles and 2 inside linebackers. Again, it just puts it all together in a controlled situation. You're calling your plays, and the kids are executing them. This last set of drills are, as you can see here, are pass protection drills and techniques that we work on. Some of them are just about every day. The first one is sets on air. I get the kids lined up by their position, and this would be a 1-step outside set. Okay, they're in their different stances and working. The left side sliding to their left, the right side sliding to their right. We go 1 and 2 steps. Okay, and again, I'm just out there just yelling set hut, and I'm just having them visualize or set to different techniques. Okay, that would be a 3-step outside set. 3 steps, so I go 1 step, 2 step, and then 3 step. This is a 1-step inside set. You've got a head-up defender, and you need to take away that inside. This is a 2-step in power. Okay, this is a defender that's in your inside here, slide protection, whatever it might be. We're going power. This is set, reset, kick. So you have a head-up defender that's working back to your outside right there. Again, we want to make sure the post foot comes back inside. This is set, reset, kick. So we're going inside, back out. We're just working the different changes of direction. The one coaching point on this is you want to make sure that they bring their first step back underneath them before they try to change direction. Mirror drills, great conditioning drills. This could have been included in the off-season things as well. Partner up right here. Okay, we've got the cones about 5 yards apart, and we're just working laterally back and forth. Okay, just keeping posture and balance, keeping the feet up underneath us on this. We can add to this as we go. You can widen the cones, you can narrow the cones. It's not a lot of contact, as you can see. We're just working the mirror. This works really good if you can get like really fast kids in there too. Work it with the D linemen. If you can get some DBs or linebackers in there, even better. The faster the look, the better. Again, it really emphasizes the posture. Here we're just, it's kind of, I equate this to just going one-on-one on a basketball game, trying to score to the hoop right here. Set the cones up. The kid has one move to beat our guy, to beat the offensive man on this. And again, we want to be on good balance and posture. Make sure we get our feet back in front of us. This would simulate a linebacker coming or a twister, picking up a twister. Now I'll do this in pads. We're trying to score. We're actually trying to get inside the cones right here. The offensive man has to slide and stay in front. No leaning, no reaching, and keep the feet moving all the time. Again, don't let him score. Get your feet in front. Don't back up, okay? Stay in front of the line. Keep your heels in front of the line. I don't like what this kid's doing. He's backing up and giving ground, and 63 is just scoring easily. John Teague's scoring easily on him right here. You know, he's getting tired and he's leaning right there. Again, that's a great conditioning drill as well. We go about 10 seconds with that. These are just different drills that we're working on punching, working the timing of our hands. We just get some medicine balls here. We've got these orange balls. We'll partner up, get them on their knees, as you can see right there. We want to fire the ball at about chin level. And again, just work the punch. What I don't want to see is anyone leaning to punch the ball. You want to punch and actually throw the head and shoulders back, but no leaning into the ball. Fire that thing, go back and forth. We go about 6 or 7 reps with it and have them change partners in the drill. Here we're partnered up. We're working to get our pass set and punch to the near point of the defender. On my command, the kids start to lean, and then I'll say hut, and the offensive kids will get up, okay, out of their set, and punch that near point. Again, I have them turn sideways so there's not a big surface area for them there to attack. They have to get their hands on them, all right, good posture, and I want the feet to work as well. I want them to feel the ground with their feet as they get up and punch. The hand should be fully extended here as you punch out. Again, the key is make sure that they're leaning into the defender. So I'll say set, and then wait for those defenders to lean, and then I'll say hut, and the offensive kids will get up, stab the near point, punch the near point. This is just again an extension of what we just saw. Points of pressure right here. We're just working down the line with it, and the offense or the defensive kid is just going to turn and give the offensive man different points of his body here. The object obviously is not to slide off. Okay, we want to have good balance and good posture on this. Just feeling the ground. You can see the feet are always working on that. As the defensive man turns, if your offensive kid starts to lose balance on this, then you know he's got way too much weight forward. Again, just working the hands. It's a little shaky right here, the one we're looking at. Not great hands. He's more or less passing it off rather than re-gripping his punch and putting him at the near point of the defender. And this one's a lot better right here. You notice the posture. It's upright, erect. He's not falling off. The only thing I don't like is feet aren't working. Keep the feet moving. Keep feeling the ground with your feet. One last look at it right here. Good. Head back. Good posture right there. Good extension with the arms. Feel it. Feel it. That's it. That looks pretty good right there on that particular drill. Again, just work them back and forth and have them trade off. Here we're just going to work down the line. We're simulating a defensive man that is taking an inside rush on us. We got our inside foot up in what I call the power phase, pounding the ground. Again, just doing the same thing, an extension, working different points of pressure as they turn here. No leaning, good posture, working down the line. Keep that inside foot up and firm and what we call, again, the power phase, pounding the ground with that inside foot. Oops, he missed a little bit there. Keep the eyes open, shoot the hands. Go down the line one more time. Don't back up. Stay on the line. Don't let the hands drop. I don't like how this kid's letting his hands drop on the punch right there. Keep them up. Take one more look at it here. Get a good posture. His hands are separating too much. You see that? And he's actually leaning rather than punching. I don't like that lean right there. Once more. Better punch. Extend all the way through. Coming back one more time. Keep the hands. See, he misses right there. See, that's, his hands are not in sync. He's got them too wide. They're separating. And he's missing the near point of the shoulder right here. Not bad. This is pretty good coming back right there. Now we're just going to do the same thing, only instead of just going in one direction, we're going to incorporate the mirror drill that we looked at earlier with the points of pressure that we just did. Again, we're just working back and forth. Now again, not leaning, making sure we're on balance, feet are moving, and just again keeping our posture and working the hands and different points of pressure that the defender may give us right here. Back and forth. Again, you don't have to keep them in here forever. Just, 5-10 seconds is about all they need to work this. Make sure that the feet stay with the defender. Make sure the feet are always staying with the defender and he's covering that defender up. This is a pretty good example of what we're trying to accomplish with this drill. The next drill is just a leverage drill here. We partner them up again. And I'm sure all of you have had some familiarity with this. We're pushing and pulling back and forth. This is a real thigh burner right here. We want to make sure they're sitting in the chair. Okay, we get one hand behind the helmet and just push back and try to fight back the pressure with your legs right there. Let's take a look at this one. Pretty good posture. He's sitting. Now when the defender tries to pull him forward, he's got to sit in the chair. Again, we're just simulating taking on the bull rush, taking on the button jerk, those types of things. Again, posture is critical. We have some good ones in here and some not so good ones on this. Sit down. Fight with your legs. Fight with your legs. Don't let him pull you around. Yeah, I see he's getting fatigued here, getting his butt jacked up in the air, getting bent over at the waist and losing all his power and all his leverage on this. Get the hands behind the back. There we go. This kid's just hanging on for dear life, trying to prop himself. You can see how straight-legged he gets. He's in trouble right here. No leg strength, no posture on this one. I mean, he's got a one thing you have to guard against in this drill is the brother-in-law act. You know, they'll take it easy on each other if you let them. Don't let them do that. They got to keep working each other. Again, this is just a great drill for developing posture and leg strength and learning how to fight and keep your balance and your posture through the bull rush or the button jerk. Now we're just working the different sets and techniques here. I use the big heavy shields, or not heavy shields, but the pass shields. This is a one step outside that Jeff took set right there. And actually it's two steps. It's a kick step, and then you've got to bring your post foot back up underneath you. Just setting the different techniques. This is a little bit wider set. This is a two-step outside set right here. 1, 2. There you see in the punch. Again, this can be an off-season drill as well. I like these pass shields right here. They got a little strap around them. They're a little bit thicker, and some handles down the bottom that kids can hang on to. But you can use any kind of bag right there for that. That last one was a 3-step outside set. 1, 2, 3 settle. Make sure you always keep the weight on the inside leg right here. The last one, we're working a power. We've got an inside defender that's inside of us. We're working the power, working down the line of scrimmage. Again, notice how the inside foot is up. We never want to get past midline of the defender on the power. Always stay on the outside half of the defender right here. Don't overshoot it. Common mistake on working to an inside defender is that you overshoot it and you allow him to spin back off, which is what we're demonstrating right here. I'll be back there and I'll just point. I'll tell the guys with the shields to move and spin. So we're checking ourselves and our posture. We're working them down the line, boom, they spin. We ought to be on balance for them to come back for us. Now we're just working some twists, just working the basic mechanics of the twist, okay? My rule is that whoever has the looper is the one that has to force the switch on the twists. So again, I'm just back there pointing, whether I want a TE or an ET, whatever. Whoever's got the penetrator must protect the seam, and that's one thing I'm always coaching them about is protect the seam. Don't let that penetrator get to his buddy's back on that. This is just pass rush. Again, we do this just about every day. Here we start out working against some twists. Right here, you can see that does a pretty good job of protecting the seam right there. Again, don't let that penetrator get to the back of the guy you're working with right there. If you got to protect that seam. Here we ended up staying man on it. They ran a delayed twist right here, and I always talk about if we get off on different planes, we're going to stay man on the twist. This is just a one-on-one pass set right here. Pretty good job of hand placement right there and balance. Here we're working a jump technique, actually. The tackle jumped the defensive end. Pretty good kick step, 3-step outside set. Good hand placement, good punch on the pass set. this tape has helped you to come up with some ideas and thoughts about what you might be able to incorporate during the season and in the off season with your kids. Again, I think just improving overall athleticism is a key component. Training any offensive lineman and some of those off-season drills help that. And again, some thoughts, whether they're all applicable to you and what you do on your scheme or not, but just some thoughts on how we set up drills and execute drills. Thanks for viewing this DVD, and if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call.